here at Maker's Mercantile in Kent, because you're in the Kent. You're not in the Renton
yet.
Yet.
We're the borderline Kent-Renton.
Kent-Renton region, and we're going to take off our masks, but we have had a consultation.
We have.
We are both vaccinated with quite the distance between us, and we are also sitting far enough apart. So this is coming off so you can hear us better. Ta-da! Ta-da! And now we get to have faces, and you can hear us. All right, so what prompted you to open this store?
Well, actually, it was a childhood dream. I always had this vision of a large store that was with a lot of textiles, because I'm a big sewist and so on too. And I wanted a store that encompassed all textiles, and it was supposed to have a great place in it for coffee and treats and stuff, and which is how we started out, was with the bakery, you know, and our espressos and everything, which in the meantime, through the pandemic, we've totally closed the bakery. We've sold off all the equipment.
Oh, wow.
We're not going to be doing drinks and so on anymore either. We've just decided to go and concentrate. Narrow it down on the textile fibers. It's hard to train everybody to make a great espresso, as well as find people who are really knowledgeable about the yarns, and I'd rather have them knowledgeable about yarns and fabric and techniques
than
make a great coffee.
All right.
Exactly.
Is there anything, because you've answered question 2 already, as well as how has the pandemic impacted your business, and what have you done? Is there more, or?
Well, no, you know, the pandemic really affected our sales in the shop. Mm-hmm. But we were very fortunate. We were quite well positioned online to be able to ship a lot. And so our online business has grown substantially, and in the shop it actually went down. So right now the online is supporting the shop. As you can see, we have a large shop, and it's very expensive to maintain, between, you know, rent, electric, lights, I mean everything, all that stuff. Plus you always have to have more than 1 or 2 employees here, because it's so big. You have to be able to walk, and if you just have sporadic employees, sporadic customers coming in, it's tough. So, you know, through the pandemic, we took away all our tables, we closed down the bakery and the food portion of it, but you know, we've survived, and I see a light at the end of the tunnel. So we actually have 1 new table set up already.
We harvested chairs off a table.
So as soon as probably the beginning of June, we'll start opening the tables again for people to come in and knit.
And you did before have lots of people sitting at tables and hanging out?
We had room for 40 people to sit. You know, we actually have taken up some of our stuff, and put other things in. So we won't have room for 40 anymore, because we won't have a bakery or the coffee and so on. And we had a lot of people that just came in for that too. Exactly.
All right, so what can we get here that we can't get anywhere else?
Ooh, lots of things. A couple of things that I do a fair amount of shopping in Europe, because I go there a couple times a year on behalf of Skacel to do purchasing and so on. And so I find a lot of different companies that haven't been brought to the U.S. market before. So we have like Garn Manufacture, which makes really great shadow knitting kits. We carry all those. We carry all the Zitrone yarns, which are very hard to find throughout the United States. We have a lot of different brands of fabrics and accessories that are from different European companies.
Jeez, I want to go shopping already.
that other people just don't carry. And because I'm fortunate enough to have the know-how on how to import and have gone through that before, it's not quite as scary. And so I can do it. Exactly.
What's your favorite fiber?
Okay. I like to sew. I like to knit. Knitting fiber would probably be cashmere, but sewing, I have a favorite lady from France. Her name is Odile. Oops, I just talked about it. So this is
not
really
what
heavy.
I expected at all.
This is a very, very soft velour type fabric, and Odile has this really whimsical look, and she mixes all these different patterns and so on.
I don't know if we're in the frame very well, but let's
so there we go.
Up.
So her velours are one of my favorite fibers, I would have to say, for sewing and so on.
And normally I expected cotton. When I picked this up, I'm like, oh, I'm going to hold cotton in my hands. And then it's like, woo, it's blood.
Yeah, it's a little on the pricey side, but it's a lot of fun, and it's really easy to sew because it doesn't fray or anything. So it makes great bags and you know. Make
All
a
right,
great bomber
what
jacket.
thing always flies off the shelf?
Ta-da! That's this. And I just dropped one on the floor too, a really pretty color underneath you. But this is called Edition 3, and it's a 100% merino twist that is made by Shuffle, and Shuffle is the company and also the gentleman who does these Zauber balls. And this yarn, it comes in two weights. It comes in Edition 3 and it comes in Edition 6. And that, can we just grab that and show that? Because that just shows what it crochets up like. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. That is, yeah, that is the Lost in Time shawl. And that one's done out of the lighter weight, Edition 6. But the color work is beautiful. People, they want it for the shift from Andrea Mowry. They want it for all different kinds of things. Great for Fair Isle using a solid color because it variegates, and would be great in a piece like this. This is the Batade from Stephen West. So flies off the shelf, comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out.
All right, what's your favorite book? I didn't say that. You could just
you know,
and it doesn't have to be a knitting book. It can't
well,
be.
you know what? But it is a knitting book.
Oh, it is a knitting book?
It is. You know what?
We have a runner.
Handy Woman from Kate Davies.
Yeah.
And it was gifted to me by my friend Kira, who's also a very avid knitter. And I had it for like 2 years before I actually read it, or a year and a half. Anyways, it is a phenomenal book, and this is the story about how Kate Davies dealt with her stroke when she was in her mid-30s. Yeah. And there was so much in common because my husband broke his neck in a surfing accident and had to relearn how to do everything sort of like she did with her stroke. And there was just so many similarities, but it's so well written, and it just gave me a better understanding. I wish I would have read it before my husband had his accident. So probably could have dealt with him better.
There's a good BBC interview with her that you can
with
get
this?
that exists still online in some of the it's like BBC One interview with her.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman, and I love her books and I love her patterns. But this book, Handy Woman, I think it's a must read for everybody.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
we're picking up hints, aren't we? We're getting.
I like that.
I've got a list of books to read now, and they're knitting peripheral, but not just instruction.
I have that one.
You've read
I've
that
read
one.
that. You know, I have it.
Has read that one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite gadget?
That would have to be this tool from Addi, and I probably should have opened this before we started talking. It's called the Addi Duet, and it comes in all different sizes, but it's a crochet hook on one end, and then it has a pointed tip on the other. So it's really great for picking up stitches. Yeah. It's great for pulling out stitches. I have fine ones that I actually use when I'm sewing for, going under stitches instead of a seam ripper sometimes, so I can just loosen a stitch. But
stiletto too.
But yeah, it's perfect stiletto for sewing. She's a sewist too.
Oh, I'm a sewer.
Yeah, I see that. So this is it's an awesome little tool, and every single size comes in a different color. So I like color. So that way, yeah. So, and you can crochet with it. You don't have to use it as anything else. You can just crochet with it too.
All right, let's talk about your pattern that is featured for the slow crawl.
And that is this one right here. So we decided to go with a Mobius because we find that with a Mobius, once you get the cast on down, you just keep going in a circle and a circle and a circle. And if you have a very simple pattern, it's mindless knitting and can give you some really great results. So the yarn that we chose to use is called Ursprung, which actually means origin. And it is a beautiful merino Tasmanian wool that comes from, I think I already said that comes from Zitron. It's a light worsted weight, and it is just really, it's very, it's butter soft. Yeah. And I chose it too because we're the only people in the United States who have it, which is
so it's like
really
a double
nice.
answer.
Yeah, well, yes,
exactly.
You can only get it here. Yeah. The colors we chose were just to do something a little bit different, and chose a very simple pattern that just moves as you go along, knit 6, purl 6.
So
and
texture.
Yeah, and when you do it in a Mobius, it's simple. I think sometimes simple is just really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And great for road trips when you hit all these stores, right?
Exactly. And the bind off and the cast on, they're just stockinette stitch,
so
and it just gives you it just gives you a nice little curled edge. Sometimes I just think it's easier to keep it simple, and of course each side looks the same. That makes it even better.
Textural,
so when you wear it, it's not gonna look bad. Yeah.
Wonderful.
On any side.
Awesome.
So really old sign.
Yeah.
It's over there, and it's
Oh,
not.
so just to, so you can find this gem of a place. We are in Kent, around the corner from IKEA.
Yep.
And just if you look for these flags out front, and for this sign in the front, right here, gifts, classes, and then the Maker's Merc sign is right down here at the end. But you will be turning into an industrial looking park. But the gem is in the industrial looking park.
Come on.
So let's go in the door. All right.
Yeah, welcome to our spacious shop. And
Nice and big.
Yeah. So can I tell you a little about the layout?
Yes,
so
please.
you can have a general idea. We have yarns that go around all the walls. And what we do is we start with our finest, which is the lace weight over here in the left. And then as you go along the walls, you're going to have lace weight. It goes into the fingering and sock weight. Then over there, you're going to have DK, and you're going to go into worsted. And then against the far wall, you're going to have your heaviest bulky weights and so on.
Okay.
And then in the middle, we have a different array, a mixture of, you know, some colorful cakes and so on that really don't mix in with any of the others that we have on the
Or
back
sit
shelves.
great on a shelf.
Yep. Yeah, well, actually, the cakes sit pretty good.
Yeah,
on
those
the shelf.
do.
But
Yeah.
so and also some yeah, just some more of the unique yarns we have in the middle section, and then of course we have a lot of different, you know, featured yarns. Like we have Liz who works here. She puts out a beautiful display for us. She switches it every couple of weeks.
Wow.
And we bring different samples in. Like right now we've got a little bit of a summer thing going on, as well as Kate Davies books, which we just can't seem to keep in stock. They sell a lot. So yeah, and then over here we have a little bit of a weaving and spinning area. We have roving, many different kinds. And then weaving supplies as well. So we have looms and so on, and we have the basic cottons that you can use for weaving. Of course, you can use anything for weaving.
Yeah.
But this
No,
is-
but there's
yeah.
warping sometimes.
it's our
You want a
little-
lot.
Our little weaving and felting corner.
Corner.
And then people who used to come here, that whole wall was Addi needles. And
Oh.
we ended up needing more space. So we took the
Oh.
wall down, and we now have all
Drawers.
all our needles in the drawers, exactly. So, and we have, I mean, basically anything that Addi carries, we do.
You've got it, yeah.
We got it. We carry it as well.
Including the giant
Exactly.
knit yourself
Yeah.
a fence.
Those are so hard to knit with.
They are
but-
so hard
But you
to
know
knit
what?
with.
If you want to do something, it gets done quick. So
That's right.
I guess
Yeah.
that's the
Well, and a
consolation.
fence.
Yeah. So yeah, and we have different kits
Samples?
and samples. Yep. We do try to bring in as many samples as we possibly can. We have quite a few knitters.
Oh,
in
and the
kits.
kitchen, is this where the bakery used to be? But now it's
Exactly.
winding and...
Yep, yeah. So this whole rack is full of samples.
Yep.
But this used to be our bakery. We had the bakery display here. You can see in the back room.
Oh, I see. Oh,
that's
my.
where- that was our kitchen.
Wow.
So we really had a full-fledged bakery. But now it's our print and dye lab. So the big equipment that you see back there is for printing fabrics. So we're printing
Oh,
fabrics
you're printing
now.
fabrics now? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and making bags. And so, you know, like this is one of the ones, we have a Maker's Heroes program where if you know someone, you can submit them as a Maker's Hero. These are people who are doing a lot of work for charity and so on.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we fill the bag with yarns and so on and send it to them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we usually have one of those a week or one every 2 weeks or something.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, this is now our wrap area, and we have our yarn winder back here and everything.
Sweet.
Obviously cutting. And then if we go back here, well, we have accessories running through there.
Always.
Lots of little
Tchotchkes.
Yep, exactly. Little things that you might need to pick up.
Little embroidery.
We do have, well, actually we have quite a bit of the Sue Spargo embroidery things and so on, but we do have a little bit of embroidery. We have a little bit of cross stitch, not a lot, and so on. Quite a few knitting and obviously sewing type of things as well.
Yeah.
So.
And then we haven't seen the fabric department.
No, that's.
Let's go to the fabric department.
Way. Yeah, this little rack here, this is all for dyeing. So we have all different kinds of undyed.
So lots of books.
Yep. Well, the books, yeah, lots of books, but they're not specifically for dyeing.
Oh, okay.
But lots of different
I see dyes. Yeah. So jacquard.
We have we have
acid dyes as well as alkaline, or mostly acid.
Mostly acid.
Well,
and
that's
then,
mostly what we do.
Yep. And then over here we have some of the marabous, which are really good for painting fabrics and yarn. So,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Sweet. Uh-oh.
So we try to do a lot of that.
Great. And then fabric before we get completely distracted.
Yep,
This fabric.
So we start going into the fabric section here. And we're concentrating right now on bringing in more clothing fabrics.
Which is so hard to find these days.
So
very few places left.
Clothing fabrics
I know,
here.
I feel...
yeah, that's a rayon.
Rayon, yeah. Love rayon.
And of course we carry a lot of ribbons and the threads to go with it, and then we have a whole nother room of fabric over here.
Oh wow.
And this is actually our button room too. So
buttons. Oh my god.
We have buttons on this wall, and we have buttons on the back wall too.
Oh my, 2 buttons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do recall that there was a button acquisition at one point, wasn't there?
Yep. So we have a lot of buttons.
Oh wow.
And in this room we have a lot of our cottons and so
linen.
Yeah, all just
Oh
different
no,
kinds
that's
of
not
fabric.
a linen.
That's a linen.
That's a linen. Is
Yeah.
that a linen, or
no,
they're
no,
washed?
That's a linen. That's a lightweight denim.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, more of a twill, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
So
batik.
Batiks. Yep. We have a little bit of needlepoint that all has to do with sheep.
Always.
So we don't carry the threads for it. We just have.
Oh, and this is a nice. This isn't your quilter's batik. This is a nice blouse.
Yeah, this is Liberty of London. So that's obviously I love Liberty of London.
Oh, my collection is
so
very
soft.
large.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Beautiful.
So that's that, and then this here is actually it's a little bit of a mess, but this is our classroom. And since we haven't been teaching classes,
People are working in here.
People are working in here since we are now producing, we produce our own fabric, so we make our own bags.
Oh, nice.
And so all the production for that is done in here as well. And then, of course, when we can start teaching classes again,
Classes will come back. Oh,
Classes
you've
will
got,
come back.
and you're on the baby lock when there's this beautiful gem back here.
I know.
Why are you on that?
Well, sometimes it's just
It's just
easier
better
on a
for the
regular
job.
machine. Yep. Well, and she's actually making a sample for the shop.
Oh, okay.
So not everybody's going to have the fancy machines. So
Well, sometimes
we'll
they're a
do it on
little
regular
scary
machine.
too.
So
All right.
But yeah, we got an embroidery machine back there, but it hasn't been used a lot. We're working on it.
You have to add in monogramming, right?
So yeah.
All right.
Not a bad idea.
Gingham.
So yeah, that's more fabrics, and then here we've got a lot of little leather and purse accessories.
Oh.
For people who are interested in making bags. Yep. And then once more,
Gifties.
other gifty items. Yeah. So that's
Sweet.
basically
That's cool.
our shop. There's a lot of wandering to do. Here, this rack actually shows you all the different bags.
Oh, that you're making.
That we are making. These are all fabrics that we're printing and sewing.
Sweet.
So they're all created here, and all different kinds of ones. Yeah.